Okay, so we are in the 2013 Nissan GTR. We are at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Temperatures today are really cold. This morning when we arrived it was minus 3.5, and I think that it's probably gone up to around 4 degrees. So, not ideal for setting hot, fast laps, but the purpose of this video is for instruction. So, we're coming onto the pit lane. We show our guy that we can go through. Speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. Right, I'm going to go to manual. Always good to have a look on the left-hand side here if any cars are potentially spilling out. No one, stay within the white lines. Accelerate fairly hard, just so we get up to speed. Now we're just going to take a look at the racetrack. So we're coming up to the world's most famous corner, Eau Rouge. Absolutely amazing. So we're just warming up the tires and the brakes all the way down through the compression, turn up to the right. Very important that you keep your steering wheel nice and straight over there so we can use a little bit of the curb and we let it run wide over here. Okay, so we're just warming up the motor. We're now onto the Camel Straight, all of it 1 kilometer long. This is where the highest braking zone in Formula One is. And this circuit is 7 kilometers long, so it's a really big circuit. It's a high-speed circuit, taking notice of the 200 and 100. At the end of that curbing, that's our reference to turn in. We can use those curbs if we want to, but we don't need to. We sacrifice a bit of space over there so we can get a good line through here. But I'm going to show you a couple of different variations in terms of lines. So the first thing we're going to do when we come down to Brussels here is we spot our braking zones and we're on the brakes. Now this is the line that one would take in a road car. We have a very late apex just over there, looking nice and far ahead. We can just stab the throttle. GTR's got monster acceleration, lots of torque. Now we're coming back through to Wuhan. I'm looking at the 200, looking at the 100. On the brakes, down to 4th gear. Before there we turn in. Very important, we've got one apex, we run it wide, we have one steering input the whole way through here. I'm looking nice and far ahead, and now I can start feeding on the power. Use a little bit of the curb. That bridge up there is a reference. Coming back down to 3rd gear, nice late turn in. Our apex on this S-bend is all the way over there, and then we can come over. Watch out for those little bollards, we can use a bit of the inside curbing. Don't use that curb over there. Back on the brakes. Turn in, a little bit of rain starting to take shape on the windscreen. Coming in, apex is just over there. That's a curb over there that we don't want to use. So we're coming into the fastest corner in Formula One, Blanchimont. We take this flat out. And now we're hard on the brakes, down to 5th, turn in, and off we go. Absolutely amazing. Formula One or downforce, you can really keep it pinned through there. So, Nissan GTR, big heavy bird, but she's actually got some really good brakes on her into the bus stop. A little bit sideways on the exit. Keeping those tires nice and warm. We're here at Spa. What an amazing circuit. Coming into La Source. Down to 2nd, wait for the dip before you get on the power, through the dip, start feeding on the power. Alright, so we've got a Cayman up ahead. It is a track day, so we're not going to be too aggressive with him. Come into Rouge, what I'm going to do is set him up for a nice run so I can overtake him on the straights. So on this particular track day, you can overtake left and right. Very courteous of him to move over. And now we are barreling along the main straight, 243, 250, and climbing. Obviously at this stage, a little bit of trail braking because we brake quite late into the corner there. Little dab of the brakes before we get on the power here. Hard on the gas. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you the downforce line coming into Brussels. So we come right in over here. I go wide, and then I come back, and I want to get the acceleration out of here. Back on the brakes. Use a little bit of that curb on the exit. Watching the barriers over there. So he was very slow, so we could dive down the inside. Don't want to use too much of that on the exit. I think it's always good to give yourself a bit of margin for error so that when you do overstep it, you don't go onto the green asphalt on the other side. So we turned in a little bit earlier there because we're trail braking, so that's a little bit more biased towards a car that has a bit of downforce, or a GT car, maybe a race car. So back end of the circuit where it's raining again. We can use a bit of this up to fourth, lift, turn in. There's my apex on the power. Now here again, one steering input all the way through, coming over to the side over here. So we've got a little bit of rain over here, but I don't think at this stage it's going to affect our performance too much. Oh, brakes are starting to really heat up over there. Didn't quite brake as much as I expected. All right, so what we got here, Ultimate GTR. I heard this on track earlier in the morning. It had a lot of power from a V8. All right, GTR baby. That's the kind of power you need. Into the source. All right, coming down to Rouge. So we're on road tires. Things are going to start overheating pretty soon. So we can't push too hard. Ideally, we need some cup tires for this car. Can use a bit of the curb over there, bounce over the curb, let it run all the way out to over there. Let's see what we can get on this back straight now. 230, 240, 250. Hard on the brakes. Oh, and the brakes are really actually quite good, I must be honest. For a road car that weighs something around 1.7 tons, it is truly amazing that it can stop that quickly. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to start cooling it down. Big car like this, heavy, you know that the brakes are taking strain. So, it's really important that you do have an effective cooling off lap. What a fantastic circuit. It is really high speed, but it's got some of the low speed stuff too. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of laps of Spa, one of the most epic F1 circuits. A lot of history here. You can feel it when you arrive. There's an aura about this place. Absolutely amazing. And if you haven't, you've got to come and watch Formula One here. It really, really is amazing. You get stunning views of this place. You can go all the way up to Brussels and you can look down on Puhan. Or you can sit on top of a Rouge. Whew, what an awesome circuit. Goodbye, GTR.